And one thing that I've been thinking about lately is just the sheer amount of time we spend at work, which crazy to me. Like I had to look this up, but it's a third of our lives is spent working. And so like when you're a Christian and you're trying to figure out how to navigate that life, like obviously a big portion of your day is working. So like faith and work and like being able to express your faith in some way, I feel like is a difficult thing. It's something that I struggled with since I started going down this journey into Christianity. Um, Like I'm wondering from your perspective, like how do you think how do people navigate that type of thing? Like how can you bring faith into your workplace and like how do you think about work in general, I guess?
I say we start off with like scripture. This is from Matthew 20, verses 26 to 28. Jesus said, "Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve." And I would say that, my background is in the wellness space, and I work in a company alongside my brother and my sister-in-law where we're able to help people using advanced wellness technologies, things that are non-invasive to basically help people relieve pain. And one of the nice things about that is, it's healing, it's helping people, but what I come across is a lot of people who are struggling with real life burdens.
Mm,
And so we call
mhm.
ourselves wellness therapists, and the therapist part is definitely a huge part of the name because people come in dealing with all different types of demons and experiences in their life. And so one of the things that I've found is that I can silently pray over these people as I'm working on them, and I can pray that God is in their life because everybody who's dealing with challenges in their life, they need a little bit of God's grace, and in order to win these battles. And so that's the way that I see navigating faith and in the workspace for myself every time that I am there. It allows me to just impact these people a little bit more, and I'm connected and I'm thinking constantly about God throughout the workday.
Yeah, and that's important because that's like what we're aiming to do. We want to kind of, I think it's in the Bible. It says something about being in constant prayer
Yeah.
and always looking up to God and looking up to Jesus, and that's a really nice way to do it. I think it's something similar for me. Like I've struggled about with this for a little bit ever since I started getting into Christianity and along my journey. And for me, it was like about 6 months ago where I really felt like a significant shift as I was kind of in scripture and in prayer and trying to understand. Like I was going through some anxiety at work. And there was one verse that I'm going to read from my paper because I'm not going to state it correctly if I don't. But it was Colossians 3:23 through 24, where it states, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward." And like for some reason at the moment that I was reading that, that kind of like just hit me like what I'm doing at work isn't for the person that I'm working on. It's not for my boss. It is for a bigger picture. And I think this actually goes into other things in life too. Like I think about this a lot where I'm like, so now I do. I didn't used to think this way, but if you think about like these kind acts that you do for people anywhere in the world, like throughout your daily life, like you have no idea how big of an impact you could potentially make, like compounded over time and over people. And like maybe you change that person's day and they have the most incredible day and they affect someone and they affect someone. It's like it's just
Snowball.
continues. It's a snowball effect and it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. And so that verse to me is like the same thing with work. Like we are doing this for a greater purpose, and God is putting us on these paths of the jobs that we're in because he knows that we're going to create a change within those positions. And so I think hanging on to the fact that we're serving the Lord through this work and treating your master, your boss, with respect, I think is super important. And I think it's helped me to really do a lot more with my work and also like really enjoy it more.